beats. 808 Donkey.
COP Productions.
Don't worry. Don't worry, I'm nice. It's funny how time flies. We was kids trying to save up for GTA 5. Now it's G's in the T with like 5ZKs or a Glock doing up drive back. Robberies and violent crimes. Let corn flying and sirens cry. Love when the mileage runs on rides. Rise up. Rise up, cause they wanna take it there. Really? They don't size up, minus the waps on weapons, it still wouldn't make it fair. Pull up, they run and they pray when we're here. I'm feeling the hate and fear. I can feel it. We ain't coming to spray in the air, so I suggest man stay in the clear. Hope someone's on the end of the barrel. I pray. Don't ask why I'm power, the 5-0 dressed in the man's apparel. 2 white girls in a boat trying to paddle, I'm watching them drop like Isaac's apple. Post up like a soldier inviting a battle. Factual, no 4 wheels, man get on the saddle. Formation you could try, will tackle. I'm ready for war, rise up the battalion. Crash pop doors trying to kick off the stallion. I pop mine but he slapped it random. I ain't even got my belly on. Fucking hell. Buy it, expect nothing less from my close companion. Expect you losing your medallion. Expect touch trying to ruin the party. Pull up with a horse, not a Ferrari. I ain't come for Panani, I came with 2 waps, Nego Cardi. Smartly roll up, fly at the car seat. Hella new shapes on the block like a carny. Is he a rat? Man, he can't be. Is he a op? He can't walk past me. Think about what life would have been like if it wasn't E8 and E9. If it wasn't 3-8s on 4-4s and getting more smoky than 3-5s. Just to make big men sit down in the beehive, bat you on track round D-sides. Rewind these times we was gliding, so where was you through the peak time? Summertime C8 got a reach out. Access to a fire whenever. Got the turners, them on speed out. Meanwhile stuck in the T, so my workload repiles. I don't sleep much and I'm needing the rest. Phone beats off and they're needing the best. I brought the broom and left with the broom. Funny how I'm still leaving a mess. Clean up. Fingers on the spin like the wild, wild west. The up blocks where time flies best. On which up boys going sky high next. Bro, give me the drop, thank you for the text. Step out trying to complete this test. Then check the news, gotta see if it's X'd or not. All cause they send empty threats. I'm over there moving like a pest. Mission failed if it ain't a death. More time high so they get shot less. Didn't have rides all the time, so we took them shotties on revs. Up it and tap, that's bodies and heads. They don't want problems, they avoid it. They run every time that we lift and point it. Fine with a biting point, it's shifting, we're gone. I know what the jakes and the rear view's on, it's long. Plus we got a toy. I'm living a movie, I can't let the oboe spoil it.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Hey, gotta deal with the snakes, you fuck with me. I'ma go out in the back like Double D. I flew to the A cause I missed her. She flew to the right trying to look for me. They took my muscle, I'm starting to feel it. My killer, my slime, not for the week. Free ski right now, I'ma spaz out. Spread a word about tune, I'ma cash out. No brother, hey. I ain't mad her through her, who I love more. Still drink hot tech like blood though. I ain't been to the hood, but it's love though. For free, you'll still get touched though. Mad her through her, but I love more. Mad him through him, still cut his stone. I'm hammering on niggas off Instagram. For the right price here, probably is, man. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. Hey. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, hey. Hey, I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. Hey, I'm fitting in, whole rush like. Hey. I was probably way too geek from the jump. Only made a quarter this month in the slump. It'll be smooth if it go my way. Too slack, I don't know who to trust. That was my mans and they blended on me, so I told those people I ain't give a fuck. I got the most money from my way. Nothing to make loyalty not even matter. I got 50 in pocket change. I just blow it to make you mad. She do whatever, cause sometimes I let her. I do it too just to make it a battle. You'll be better if I told you twice. I asked out cause you're just too nice. Snakes in the grass, but they on the invite. Hey, I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. And the LV store still slid around. You trust me and you got bit again. You trust me and you got bit again. Hey. Hey, I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm fitting in.
Yeah.
I used to ride that bus just to flip the bag. Pray it all go right, hope I make it back. A lot of niggas wanna see knife in my back, but I'm a full grown lord, can't get that chin. See shit I like, don't check no tag. See isolate strike, I catch that hat. When I move, you move, niggas just like that. Until I get these rays, I'ma act, I'm mad. She throwing that neck, she half giraffe. I was born right next to a half a slap. No L's on the road with the paraphernalia. Don't do dirt with him, he a tattletale. These smack DVD, these battle rappers. I'm 1,008 grand, I'm a plastic rapper. I'm a drink guy, baby, I'm a vacuum sealer. And I'm a free band, baby, I'm a Talibander. Then with the torch, I passed to me. How to make me my math problem. Shawty wanna get in a hot tub with me, but I'm trying to put her head up underwater. All our dashboards 200. We'll play track before we do the yours. Might see Blick Flash get a bonus. Where's my cup starting to feel long? I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm slimy, I'm slimy, I'm fitting in. I'm slimy, I'm I'm in the slimy, I'm fitting in. Yeah. Yeah. Ever since me and 2 Links stuck at the hip, we the goes in the city like Rose and Rip. I'ma die still go just like I'm Nip. Can't pick no side, little Doug and Rip. Lot of niggas on the east get money with. Lot of niggas on the west I act funny with. I ain't scared of these niggas like Bernie Mac. If a nigga want smoke, we'll clear the air. I'm 10 toes like a brick bear. They don't wanna be on my shit list. Little nigga, I'm worse than a hit list. Good morning, family. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys could hear me okay. Right, and let's ideally keep sending this link out to the squad, to the family. Right, let's get at least 25 plus on this call so we can go ahead and get it started with just, you know, enough people so we can make some monies, right? But like I said, all right, beautiful. I see a 1. So we're going to get it started here in about 5 to 6 minutes, family. So keep sending the link out and we will be right back.
Hey, Russian! See my dog switch up, I put the switch on the Glock. When we pull up, everything get dropped. Hey, senseless stunts, but we not take that. You know that. Tell her just come see a long time, mad. Like she bought the mallet and alien. I know all of my friend them brainless. I'm a not touch the road, I'm a stainless. Just straight Louis V and a peerless. Shit, come on, no dog, man, no business. Hidden madder than a Bellevue patient. No can see a plan for the weekend. So she wants some wood, come famous. Yeah, come famous. In the fuck up bitch, whether or not she have to suck this. Be a bad gal, they run the thing junkie. Me not just people, them a fuck it. Strap with the Glock, come bring a similar of this. Senseless duns, this half family bust this. Contracts, send a trinity bad figure matches. Smoke up a dust, this psycho plus madness. Cut boy, throat, that's the young, now we lock. See my dog switch up, I put the switch on the Glock. Gun man, to put the chip on the Glock. When we pull up, everything get dropped. Hey. Senseless stunts, but we not take that. You know that. Tell her just come see a long time, mad. She bought the mallet and alien. I know all of my friend them brainless. I'm a not touch the road, I'm a stainless. Just straight Louis V and a peerless. Shit, come on, no dog, man, no business. Hidden madder than a Bellevue patient. No can see a plan for the weekend. So she wants some wood, come famous. Rocky gang wild and we tameless.
Hey, no. Hey, shut up, man, no.
Yeah. Why tell me to go and you know you gon' miss me? Like who go on with you and you gon' throw it? I cannot told the 9 less a whole 16. Shots to this chest and it's hotter than whiskey. I still just drink fade away like no whiskey. I'm off a purse, she can't get a quickie. In the side sense of the sky, gotta switch it. I ain't never slipping, I'll be in the city. It's a lot of ops, you know I got many. If you talking racks, you know I got plenty. I be talking to God, hold daddy him. I know that these perkins, they ain't gon' him. Before you reach for my wrist, you gon' have to kill. I come from the trenches, baby, that's the rim. Yeah. You ain't got 4 with me, but you gotta feel. Smoking them and got me looking like a kid. Everybody's on the blind like we ain't fit. If I don't gotta switch finger for the same, gotta keep the 2 case to come in hand. Won't let the bitch line me up like that. That nigga
only stepping when he off Xanny. Cody in the cash swinging that ceramic. We swing your block something like a hammock. When we pull it out, they panic. In the Maybach, the view panoramic. Free baby care 4-7, I say that in every song. They really my relate, the same, that's the reason we don't get along. We pop up with police for you hit a better run. I'm on the block, I told my ratchet. I'm off the drugs, I got bad habits. I let the fuck up these racks on fashion, cause I remember when I never had them. I feel like none of this shit even matter. If I don't got a corona right here with me, we knocking doors down just like Pimpsy. Might call that blue face line lit Nipsey. Why tell me to go and you know you gon' miss me? Like who going with you and you gon' throw it? I cannot told the 9 less a whole 16. Shots to the chest and it's hotter than whiskey. I said just drop fade away like no whiskey. I'm off a press, she can't get a quickie. In this ice to the sky, gotta switch it. I ain't never slipping, I'll be in the city. It's a lot of ops, you know I got many. If you talking racks, you know I got plenty. I be talking to God, hope that he hear me. I know that these perkins, they ain't gon' hear me. Before you reach for my wrist, you gon' have to kill me. I come from the trenches, baby, that's the real me. Yeah. You ain't got fuck with me, but you gotta feel me. I come from the trenches, baby, that's the real me. Used to rock Zara, now I rock a mirror. Used to rock G-Shock, now I gotta roll it. Since I'm getting money, everybody know me. Oh, you say that you ride it, you gotta show me. Straight pound cleats, now this ain't a fold. My first phone call, yeah, it was a story. Still remember fun times before he had money. Getting more racks than his big homie. Ride around the city, I'm never lonely. I got that bag on me and she know it. Walk inside every room like we own it. If different when you get it out the mud, don't it? Yeah. Feel different when you get it out the mud, don't it? Weather the storm, now a nigga risk roll. Why tell me to go and you know you gon' miss me? Like who going with you and you gon' throw it? I cannot told the 9 less a whole 16. Shots to the chest and it's hotter than whiskey. I said just drop fade away like no whiskey. I'm off a press, she can't get a quickie. In this ice to the sky, gotta switch it. I ain't never slipping, I'll be in the city. It's a lot of ops, you know I got many. If you talking racks, you know I got plenty. I be talking to God, hope that he hear me. I know that these perkins, they ain't gon' hear me. Before you reach for my wrist, you gon' have to kill me. I come from the trenches, baby, that's the real me. Yeah. You ain't got fuck with me, but you gotta feel me.
Ayo, solid, you the best. Shish gang.
I've been in rooms they can't compare. Look at this money surrounding me. How can I lose if I with a crown? And the whole city is proud of me. If I wasn't hot, had all this guap, they probably shit on me probably. I got your bitch riding around the drop, telling me all of your privacy. I'm the one that they chose. Look at my wrist on froze. Look at my bitch on gold. Tell a bitch hold my pole. Say let's go, let's roll. Wherever we land, it's lit. Spend 10 minutes on my fit. We ain't never had a man like this. We ain't never played with bands like this. Tell her hold a 10 like this. I'm in her panties, right in Miami. I made a strip on the strip. And that's all facts. This money be calling if I miss a call, then I gotta call back. If this money is wrong, I call her my dog, then right at your doormat. I'm on the yacht, tryna see what it's show at. She win a lot, told her I could afford that. You moving hot, baby girl, don't record that. R.I.P. Pop, I'm on my dog back. I got a Glock, right where my drawers at. You moving hot, I gotta pause. Shout out to the ops, look where the score at. I be in rooms they can't compare. Look at this money surrounding me. How can I lose if I with a crown? And the whole city is proud of me. If I wasn't hot, had all this guap, they probably shit on me probably. I got your bitch riding around the drop, telling me all of your privacy. When I was counted out, I was counting up. Look at this switch now. We was wildin' out and they was down with us. They all on my dick now. They wanna take pics now. Just now we the shit now. I'm selling out all of my shows. They wanna have sit down. So who the fuck done told you I fell off? Nigga, I fell back. We really them niggas if I get your case. I don't gotta ask where the bell at. She know I'm that nigga tryna figure out how I pick her up with my friend ass. Hammer time when I nail at. Keep it never tell her. I know you felt that. I be in rooms they can't compare. Look at this money surrounding me. How can I lose if I with a crown? And the whole city is proud of me. If I wasn't hot, had all this guap, they probably shit on me probably. I got your bitch riding around the drop, telling me all of your privacy.
Ayo, solid, you the best.
Good job, show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. We are live in the cut. My apologies, just had to use the restroom. Right, but I left you guys Goldie on the screen, right? Did anybody take advantage of just using their eyes and looking? Because it looks like we're really about to fly, right? Looks like we about to fly, fly, fly. If we sit here and we take a look just really at the hourly, right? We had a 1 hour IPA up here. We had a smaller 15-minute little point of interest, a little bit lower. But I do like the longs to start today. But good morning, family. Drop in the chat, drop in the chat if you guys can hear me. Right, let me see some 333s in the chat if you guys are having a good morning, a good Thursday morning. Beautiful, beautiful. But realistically, right now, I like longs on gold. I personally just entered towards the ending of the last hourly candle. I personally took a position once we came back into this 5-minute insufficiency. I was looking a little bit lower, but we kind of just flew. So I ended up getting in like up in about this area. Right, about 57. So flew about like 30 pips, like basically instantly, right? So that's pretty good in terms of what we want to see. I really just expect a continuation higher. We probably just keep filling like these little IPAs on the 5-minute, and get a continuation higher. But overall, right, with just the fundamental understanding of the news, and kind of taking a look at just what took place. So if we sit here and we take a look at just obviously the news events that took place today, we can see that we had this PPI news, and we can see that the numbers that were actually released were lower than we anticipated, which is what we really wanted to see. And then even employment claims, right? We can see that unemployment claims, they ended up being, I believe, a little bit higher than they forecasted, or a little bit lower. What is the forecast, July? The forecast, okay. Yeah, so when it comes down to the unemployment claims and PPI, that's obviously why we got just this volatility right at 8:30. Because you could notice, right, at 8:30 we sweep both sides of the boards. So we literally sweep the floor. Okay, so when this big wick comes up, right, what we're doing is we're attacking the high of the day. The high of the day was up in here, right? With this wick, we run the stop loss of anybody who potentially sold in here, anybody who sold in here, anybody who sold in here, anybody who sold in here, who had their stop loss up and around that area, they would have more than likely got a hit. Just for anybody who bought today, right, they would have gotten hit out. So this is why typically I say during Asian, especially that Tokyo session, you typically are never going to be able to hold trades throughout the whole day. The last couple of days have been the exception, but like I've explained, like that will really only happen maybe like 2-3 times in like a 2-3 weeks like span, right, where you'll have like consecutive days just not sweeping the board, and that'll typically be because of a higher time frame point of interest, right? So to me, just taking a look at price from a 4-hour perspective, right, this 4-hour candle, okay, so this candle looks clean still in my eyes too. The other one just has a different time, I don't know why, but realistically on the 4-hour, that's kind of what we expected. We expected to really just see this continuation towards the upside. So like I said, if we can come back down, what time is it, 10:15? So at 10:15, if we can come back ideally, truthfully just into this candle, like this candle would be sufficient enough in my eyes in terms of just seeing price get filled, right? So obviously, like I said, the initial entry that I really was playing was off of here, entered up in here, right? Now we have it price coming back down up into this same insufficiency. So if we can dig into here, that would be lovely. If we just go, like I said, you don't want to chase, but it looks like price is coming into this area right now. So overall, like I said, when it comes down to the 4 hour, it really looks like we're just going to get this continuation towards the upside, as well as silver. Silver just looks like the moon, right? Silver is diverging with XAU USD, so gold, and then also XAU GBP. So XAU GBP actually took the lows, right? We ran all of this whole low, and I like how we are now just reacting out of this last down area, right? So based off the 4 hour, right, we got a break above this previous lower high right here, right? So once we get this drive up, we come all the way back down, right? Why do we come back down? Well, we're filling in any IPAs, right? Any imbalances. We're also mitigating, right? You have to understand in terms of like this trap candle or just the institutional area, whatever you call it, you really see that there's 3 consecutive down candles and boom. So everybody really is getting stuck into shorts in here, right? The banks are shorting the market to then what? Push it up. So what do they do to rescue the sells? Well, they just simply push the market back down. And ideally, looking at how we are reacting out of this area, this is what you want to see. We would want to see this price just continue all the way up, just based off of what we're anticipating for the metals, right? As well as DXY just looks like death, right? I don't know what really people would be buying especially after yesterday. Yesterday, to me, once we like just ate below all of this daily structure, in my eyes, at this point, there's just kind of like a free fall, right? So we have another day, 1 day, 7 hours. I don't know if we'll really just continue to push as deep as we've gotten. To me, we might push a little bit lower down into this IPA, and then we could potentially see DXY actually go up, right? We could actually see some retracement to the upside, but at the same time, it will really just depend on what the market wants to do, right? So let's take a look at the indices. US 30, what's your opinion? I'll go after 30 after NAS. So obviously with NAS, you guys know we've been fairly bullish for the last little bit, especially over 30, right? It looks like this little wick that we got yesterday came back, filled some IPA. We also mitigated. So in my eyes, kind of taking a look at NAS, it looks like we're in no man's land in terms of the upside. So obviously we would expect to see this price continue towards the upside. There's nothing really here to me that is really screaming like, oh, entry. I do see this is some liquidity in my eyes, so I could see us potentially sweeping all of those lows and potentially breaking our way down into here to then go higher. So it's not that we're bearish, I just think that we're going to fill in some insufficiencies before maybe going higher. So this would kind of make sense, obviously, if we see DXY continue lower, right? 30 would obviously be kind of the similar thing. We still haven't got like quite a smaller time frame break of structure. It looks like no hourly break occurred. And then, yeah, if there's no 30-minute, then I couldn't really see the 15-minute have breaking anything. So to me, just kind of looking at this right now, we just came and captured yesterday's high of the day, right? Or not yesterday's high of the day, but at least today's high of the day and yesterday's New York session liquidity, right? So us pushing up above this area right here and now starting to break down, to me, I look at just where the money is, right? There's liquidity on the bottom side now that we have to take, that we left. So for me, right, I could potentially see 30 breaking down, right? So looking at just how prices filled, to me, it looks like we're really just going to continue to fall from here. I don't know if you guys would want to get in, per se, right here. Just because it looks like it kind of ran a little bit. Like if you were to be getting in here, stop would be just kind of big. And you would be entering just basically at a lower point of price. But to me, like I said, it really doesn't have to come back up higher. So you could, if you wanted to. I would say the best thing to do if you wanted to enter would be wait till 10:30. Because essentially, if we can get a close below this candle right here, ideally, what I could expect to see is we close below here. It looks like already we have an IPA right in here. So I'd be looking to target just, if we close below this box, I would be looking to target just if we pop back up into this area. But as of right now, like I said, with it just kind of, if it were to have closed basically where it's at right now, that wouldn't be what we want. And it would basically just invalidate longs. But actually, I like how we kind of wicked into the short. Sorry, I like how we kind of wicked into this area right now. Right, to me, it looks like we might pop a little bit higher to fill all of this, which to me, I would then I would be more willing to take a position up here as opposed to like anywhere in this area. To me, this is kind of like the middle of the range. But on top of that, there's just nothing really clear. Like I said, you just don't want to force entries. To me, if anything, the buys would make more sense. But it's like overall with DXY, with dollar, I'm just anticipating it to obviously continue lower. So I would want to see US 30 just kind of match that and continue a little bit lower. So gold looks like we are coming back into this area. So if you miss gold, you could potentially take longs right now out of this particular area. And like I said, just definitely manage your own risk and use risk management, right, if you're taking this position, because at the same time, we could just, like, we're in a very volatile area. So with us just being in a very volatile area, you don't want to you don't want to over leverage, because even the stop losses are a little bit bigger. Just areas, just because of how much we've actually moved. Like for me, like the reason why I kind of hesitated even getting in initially here was because I just didn't know where to put my stop loss. I was looking at it reacting out of here, and I'm just like, okay, if I were to enter right here, my stop, if I were to put it at the low, would be like 30-40 pips, which, you know, I wouldn't want to see. But to me, what I ended up doing was just putting it right below the low at about 57. I literally put it at 57. So to me, if it comes really anywhere below the body of this candle, then I will get hit out. And basically, I would just be looking for a lower push into this IPA. But like I said, you just kind of, you got to be able to read price action and kind of see what is happening on the smaller time frames and just see how price is being filled. You don't have to see a reaction necessarily right away, as long as price is being filled very clean. Right? As long as we keep coming back and we keep filling these little insufficiencies and IPAs, in my eyes, it makes things a lot easier on us. Just especially when we're trying to take these positions in these areas where you could potentially just see these higher time frame reversals, right? I'm in US 30 sell right now. Yeah, the shorts on 30 makes sense to me at the moment. Like I said, I like gold longs, I like metal longs, and I like the idea of 30 shorts. NAS, like I said, I wouldn't really be too rushing to like, to me, like I said, I don't really think that we don't get back to this area. This just looks so beautiful. NAS is very good at filling, but I wouldn't I would just be waiting for buys. Like, to me, I've been clapped a lot trying to short, especially NAS in the last couple of weeks. So I just really stopped unless it's just really something clean. And if it's something clean, I'm really taking profits right away. I'm not even really looking to fuck around and find out. Like I said, this is really like a 300-point range, right? So to me, even to sit here and kind of, if you were to play, let's say, like a smaller time frame break of structure, wait for like a 3-minute, 5-minute, which we still have yet to get on Nas, right? But if we were to get a 3-minute, 5-minute break, you could just simply play the retest, and from there you'd be able to kind of scale in and find potential entries. If you enter gold, it looks like we're getting a nice little pop out of here. Like I said, if you're entering, I wouldn't have my stop loss really lower than 1957. That's just me personally, but you could kind of even pop it up a little bit more. You could have it closer towards 1958. On my reentry, I have mine at 1958 because, like I said, I just don't. If it comes lower, that's cool. But to me, I rather just reduce the stop, have a tighter stop, because to me, we shouldn't really be playing around. It's time of day. Like, you want to catch entries where you're able to break even right away, just because it's like that's the last time that we're kind of playing around that area. You don't want to have to constantly just take trades and just be scared of breaking even. I feel like that's probably like a big fear of a lot of you guys. You hate to break even because you hate to get hit out of your trades. And just think about it. If you hate getting hit out of your trades, is it because your trades are not good, or is it because maybe the areas in which you're getting into the trades are just poorly chosen? And that's really what you gotta ask yourself. Like, are you choosing these areas based out of fundamental analysis, or are we picking these areas based out of more of a personal type of bias, right? But gold is pushing down, so if we hit this tight stop that we have on this particular area, like I said, we're just looking a little bit lower. If it sells off, though, that's one thing that, you know, we could, but that would obviously entail DXY flipping. Right, and also, to me, everything else would kind of have to flip in terms of the metals, too. Like, silver would have to flip, XAU, GBP. I guess the GBP looks like it's doing that thing. So, yeah, DXY. Shit, DXY getting a little bit of a reaction out of this area right now. So, to me, there's no wick on the bottom. I would anticipate we probably just fill this IPA and continue lower. So, that's probably why we're even getting this push down on gold, is just because we're filling that IPA. But in the next minute, let's see, because if we engulf to the downside, I would really just be chilling today, just because in my eyes, buying it lower like we could, but it's just we shouldn't really run the higher low of the day. We shouldn't really come close to the higher low of the day more than once or twice, right? And already we've taken Tokyo's low, so now this is the new low of the day. Now we're kind of running back and testing this. So to me, like I said, this 5-minute area is really the last fill that I'll be playing, like the rest of this IPA, if we do break below this area. But if we don't, then like I said, it is what it is. But if we come into this area any lower to me, and I just really, it wouldn't make sense to me to continue to go up from that area, right? And that's just me personally, right? But who really knows what will really take place, right, when it comes down to just the overall movement. Because like I said, gold just has a funny way of kind of working itself out, especially when it comes down to just these particular areas. I'm sure if you guys have traded gold before, you guys have seen trades where you're like, oh my god, I love it, and then you come back 5 minutes later from going to get a coffee, and then you're in drawdown. And that same trade that you were like smiling and giddy about, now you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, should have taken my profits. But ideally, like I said, I still like the ideas of long, so don't be necessarily tripping. 15-minute engulf, though, that's the only thing. 30-minute printed down. I don't know, like I said, we're really going to have to fly. Because to me, if we're not going to fly out of this area, I've been kind of, like, I shorted it before we took this high. So I had shorts in here. And once we broke down, I closed. So I was liking the idea of shorts because GBP personally looked short. Like, it looked like we were going to go short. But like I said, dollar just looks too bearish right now for me to just be confident kind of selling. But like I said, like I did want to see us come lower. I did want to see us even come lower than that a little bit. But the fact that we even wicked into this IPA, that's good enough for me. So that's why I really like the idea of longs. But I like longs with just a continuation. Like, I don't even want to see this candle really push too much lower than the body of this candle. Like, this candle should really just go up. Like, how we're coming down now, that's cool. Beginning of the 30-minute candle, right? Do your boogie. do whatever you gotta do, gold, and just get the fuck out of here. This is ideally, the type of price action we'd want to see. We don't want to see price start breaking down lower than this area. If it does, then we're probably wrong. You could just close, take the small. Like I said, with this engulfing candle, like I said, it looks like we probably will come a little bit lower than this area, based off the smaller time frame. But that's why I just really kind of like to stick to the hourly 30-minute closes when it gets tight on the 15-minute. Because I'm sitting here and I have to just wait and guess for the 15-minute. It's not that I'm guessing. It's just you have to wait to see the candle close in order to get the confirmation. And waiting for that candle close, you're guessing basically whether or not it's going to go up or down. And if you're wrong, then it avoids you from just taking unnecessary losses if you just kind of manage and negate the risk in a better way, right? So US 30 popped straight down and is running. Man, I like Nas shorts better, even though fucking 30 looks cleaner. Like I said, there was no real break of structure, so it's just like I just don't like the idea of shorting it without at least like a 5-minute, 3-minute break. But based off of like the 15 and 30-minute candles, like 15-minute wise, we don't even have to come higher than here, so we could just fall off from here. 30-minute wise, right, we actually don't even have to come further than this either. So I would say you could potentially short. Now I would have like a tight stop, right, just off the 30-minute, 15-minute, and just looking for that sweep down. Like I said, we took this high today. We could keep flying. Like I said, overall, I do want to see shorts, but to me, Nas just looks a little bit cleaner in terms of just fills. In my eyes, personally, 30, like I said, is just, we could potentially pop a little bit higher. So you could take Nas if you want. If you don't, then that's fine, because like I said, it's just a little bit more of a risky entry. I would say gold. Gold is the entry that I'm most confident with in terms of position wise. Just based off of the confluence with not just the dollar, but also a couple other things. So that's one thing that I want you to really just pay attention to when it comes down to potentially just seeing a reaction. Because like I said, if we're really short in gold, right, ideally it would make sense to see Nas shorts, right? Because obviously the dollar, right? But at the same time, Nas has just been more bullish, obviously, than the other indices, just because the tech stocks. So if we obviously understand tech stocks are booming right now, it's just more of a matter of being able to kind of position yourself based off of what your fundamental understanding of the market is. Because a lot of people will sit here and they'll be trying to sell Nas at areas where it doesn't really make sense, when in reality you should be trying to sell 30 if you're looking to sell anything. But it's just being able to find these positions and not just fuck up in the process, right? So I shorted Nas personally, right? I have a tight stop, right? But I'm giving myself a little bit of room to breathe. So I like shorts. Like I said, I just want to see all these lows get taken. So I think this target is very realistic to this 1 to 13. I would look to buy it, truthfully, as soon as we fill it too. So I would set a TP 100%. You don't want to get caught lacking in this area, because to me, like I said, it just wouldn't make sense. But if you guys get into Nas right now, like I said, it looks like we're kind of reacting a little bit. So this would be kind of the time to get in. If you were to take Goldie, right, nice little pop. We basically just came back to where we did at the beginning of the call, which is fine. BTC bearish. If gold and metals are really looking to go to the upside, I would imagine crypto is going to be doing the same. Bitcoin, looks like we're consolidating, but it looks like we could potentially be getting some distro. But I would want to see another pop up towards the upside. So BTC, to me, I would just kind of be on my hands. Overall, I do want to see us break down lower to then go higher. We have IPA up here. So it's not that we're bearish. I think personally we're still bullish, but I do want to see some bearish retracement to fill some insufficiencies towards the downside, if possible. Ethereum too, like I really could still see us pushing higher than where we're currently at. I believe this hourly. Yeah, so we have hourly insufficiency. So to me, I still want to see crypto kind of push up a little bit because I don't think we've filled in enough to really continue to the downside. But you know, we'll definitely just see how things end up playing out when it comes down to that. But when it comes to just any other positions or any other currencies, any pairs, is there anything that you guys would like me to look at when it comes down to just trading? Whether it's indices, forex, commodities. I know I only really look at the commodities and indices, but I'm in gold for 1975. Popped. I'm targeting that trend line liquidity near 1972, or do you think it's stressing it? No, for me, my take profit would be in and about the same area. I was looking to target 1972. So the trend line liquidity obviously is in confluence. So basically what you were just mentioning made sense. But hourly wise, to me, gold is really good at coming and filling like these little insufficiencies. So we have an IPA there on the hourly. But we also, I believe if I'm not mistaken, we had a 4-hour IPA as well. Yeah, so we have a little 4-hour insufficiency in here as well that we just kind of are filling, right? So to me, I do want to see us wick above all of that area. But like 1972, right, just really above all of these wicks is really kind of where I'm looking to take profit. Obviously, if we can get up into that area, would be lovely. Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm seeing definitely the same thing, Nick. When it comes down to just that liquidity being captured, I think the buys are. I think we're bullish now. Like we're officially bullish. We've been bullish probably since the beginning of the week. To me, since this fill, and I really didn't want it to be true because I wasn't awake. So this is why it bothered me because I shorted it, right? And my take profit was literally at, I had it a little bit higher. I had it at like 1917, 1918. But realistically, this is where I was looking to target and close. And you can see that from that point, we basically just ran. Right, and as of right now, we're just getting these continuation candles, right? You're just seeing this very big bullish movement. So to me, like I said, from the daily perspective, 2001 to 2008 is easy. Like to me, I don't see us not stopping till we get there. Depending on how, like, just how low we come back before we go high, I don't know. But I don't think there's really anything genuinely stopping us to 2005. I think we go higher, but I think that's probably where we get a first little bit of a reaction and we kind of stall out, if anything. S&P bullish. So 30 looks, like I said, 30 is the one that you want to be selling if you're selling. So we're kind of going against my rule today by with Nas, because 30 looks clean, or cleaner at least right now. But obviously Nas could still have still has room. We still have about 4 minutes before this 15-minute candle close. So ideally, if we close bearish here on 30, that's what we would want to see if we were taking positions to the downside. But on Nas, obviously you can see that we popped up a little bit higher, so just not quite so ideal. But at the same time, this just simply means that it could be like you're just getting that higher retracement, right? So if 30 is selling off, ideally, like I said, for the most part, they're going to catch up and they're going to be doing the same thing relatively, give or take, right? Not the exact same thing at the exact same time, but directional bias, right? For the most part, if 30 is going to sell off, Nas might sell off, but just not as hard, right? or it just might take a high before it shorts. So divergence is typically how you're going to get the best entries, at least in my opinion, on the indices. I've never got a better entry than just playing divergence. Like on NAS, I've never gotten a better entry than when I've sat here and played like shorts based off of 30. So for example, NAS will be bullish, 30 will be bearish, but NAS will push up and capture highs and like maybe play at the top of a range. So to me, I'd rather short NAS because 30 probably already broke down lower. So in terms of just the room for the potential move, it's just there's less movement, right? So NAS might be at the top of the range, 30 might be in the middle of the range. So would you rather short something at the top or the middle? And it's like, shit, you rather short something at the top. Or at least I rather short something at the top. I don't know about you guys, right? But Goldie right now looks lovely. Like I said, if NAS, to me, if I get hit out of this area, I wouldn't really play it again. Like I said, if we chose wrong on the indices today, oh well. Because like I said, 30 looks clean. We pop all the way back up to his. Like I said, I just didn't know position-wise. There was no break. So at this point, you're kind of just guessing where price was going to fill. But the thing that was obviously in strong confluence was just this high, right? Just this wick. So this was the one thing that I was kind of mentioning, that we should respect this if we are going to continue lower, which it looks like we are respecting right now. And for us to not be pushing above, that is giving us confirmation for the sells, right? So even if we didn't get a smaller time frame break right now, we should get it. Right, and when we do get it, we're still going to come back up and we're going to fill that, and it's going to be lovely, right? But gold, drop an XAU USD if you guys took gold. Did anybody take gold positions? Gold longs, ideally, it's like, if you got in anywhere in here, you should be lit. Beautiful. I know, Nick, you said you got in at about 57, right, which is dope. Right, if anybody else got in, lovely. Like I said, once we take this high, just because of how volatile we are in this range, like I said, this already bounced like 30 pips. So it's like, maybe once we take this high, right, you could look to break even, or you could even look to partial. Like I said, I think we probably just explode up. But that's just me personally, because like I said, with the news, just taking this low, to me, we should just really, like, run. Like, she's a runner, she's a track star type of running. Alright. Got it at 59. Dope, dope, dope. So now, as like I said, we're really pushing above this whole area. So 15-minute wise, right, with 45 seconds left in this candle, and us looking like we're basically engulfing. That is not ideal for what we just want to see in terms of position. Okay, so if we were really looking to see price go down, this is not what we'd want to see on a 15-minute candle. So for me personally, if this closes literally in the next 20 seconds where it's at, I'm personally going to be outie of the NAS shorts. But 30, this is what is going to piss me off, because NAS is going to sell off, but it's just, it might take the high first, right? So 30's gone. Right, like I said, 30 was clean, but just for re-entries, like I said, it just wasn't, unless you just played this little 3-minute area right here, which you could have for sure, but to me, it's just, like I said, it didn't make sense until we got a break. Now, right now on the 3-minute, 5-minute, it looks like we got a break. So in terms of re-entries, we actually do have a clean area. So to me, I would want to see us come back into here. We don't really have to come higher. If we do, it would just be deeper into this 5-minute up candle. So as long as we don't close above here, really anywhere from the open of that candle, right, just because that insufficiency is right there, we could see potential re-entries for US 30 shorts. Like I said, NAS just looks like nothing's really bullish, or nothing's really bearish about NAS per se at all. So for NAS, I would say, if you were to play how 30 reacted, it's like it should react basically where it's at right now. But like I said, 30 is going to be the better one to short if you're shorting any of them. Like I said, you don't want to be, ideally, thank you, you don't want to be shorting something that's just ideally just extremely bullish. But at the same time, like I said, with us coming to the top of this candle for Nas, we basically did the same thing on 30. So if I were to have a guess that we're going to fall, to me, it's going to be basically from where we're at. So for Nas, I actually personally got back in. Just kind of playing the same type of candle that we played off of 30. Because to me, if it just does what 30 does, then we're at minimum going to just take this low. Like, we don't even have to fucking take all of the liquidity at the bottom. To me, we just take this low. Risk to reward wise for me, from where I got in, makes sense, right? So having literally, I had like 6-point stop to the lows of 1 to 12, 1 to 10, right? But to me, I think we take the overall low of the day, right? So if you get in with these parameters, potentially room for a 1 to 27. So if you just got hit out, it's like, this is the type of parameters, risk reward, you could be getting in. And even if you get in now, it's 1 to 7. Which is better than most of the risk reward that a lot of people take. So I personally took re-entries for that. You can see 30 pop back up into this and it just missed. So this is how, like I said, what I was telling you with the divergence, with catching the lagger, that's how we caught Nas, right? We literally just looked at what happened on 30. It reacted first. And now Nas is literally reacting second. So this is what I tell you, Nas is normally the lagger. So this is why, to me, it's okay sometimes to sit here and... This is why I'm okay with taking Nas positions just when it's at the top, because to me, ideally, shit, if it's here, if not here, then where? So I just like to play risk, or I like to play my chances on those areas, because I think the likelihood of us going higher with the divergence, 30 is just very good at giving us the overall sense of direction. Like I said, Nas sometimes just wants to fuck around and find out. Sometimes we just want to chill. Sometimes we want to hang, right? So the reason why Nas wants to do it is because Nasty Nas is a freak, right? US 30 is just dirty 30. It's just dirty, right? Nas, freak. So that's why you see Nas be doing all this freaky shit. But ideally for me, I don't even want to see price kind of come back up. If it does, I will just close. 3 minute wise, okay, we look good. We had this engulfing candle. We have this candle. If we engulf to the upside now on the 3 minute, then boom, yeah, for sure, I'm out, right? I don't want to see anything other than an engulfing candle for this 5 minute. If we don't engulf, we would just have to really kind of close around this area. And like I said, I wouldn't want to see any pop up really at all. So overall, 30, I expect, like I said, to take these lows. How low do we go? I don't know, right? It's like limbo. How low can you go? I don't know, man. But all I know is that it's going to do something. Right? But just taking a look at it from the 30 minute, it looks like we have a lot of liquidity, like a lot of just lows. Like we've just really been running price up for a little bit on 30. So to me, I really think that we could kind of just explode down into this. So I'm not going to really say where we could react per se. I just know overall, this is probably where we're heading, right? Bless you. I think we're looking to target this particular area down here. To me, we have just a lot of liquidity, just people buying. Equal lows up in here too, as well as we have a little insufficiency down there as well. So to me, that kind of would make sense just for potential entries. Like I said, Nas. This is not what we want to see. Actually, yeah, 5 minute, new 5 minute just opened. This is okay. Just gonna kind of let the 5 minute play out. 3 minute look ugly there, but 5 minute look clean. 5 minute on Nas. Like I said, as long as 30 just keeps doing what it's doing, I don't see Nas not at least taking that low that we talked about, just right, that immediate low, right? Which, like I said, from that particular area would be about a 1 to 6, 1 to 7. But just even kind of playing these parameters down to like the low of the day would be about a 1 to 15. So 1 to 15 is not bad. There you go. Bless you. It sounds like, you know, when you hit the MetaTrader 4, the buy button. When you have your sound on, it sounds like poof. That's what it sounds like. I'm like, God damn, you're going ham back there, pressing them buttons. But gold right now, you should be in some profits. This is what we want to see in terms of 30-minute, right? This engulfing candle, hourly. Now we can see, right, we got that little wick. So this is what we said. We just want to see this continuation. This is actually a beautiful candle if we close where we're at, towards the upside. Because like I said, we really just should continue. I know this is a big wick, but ideally we shouldn't come back down today if we're going to even correct it at all, right? Ideally that would be a tomorrow or later on this week, or maybe even later on next week. Flex if it were to happen. To me, on gold, drop an 888 if you guys are in gold with me, right? Because we're going to be approaching our first take profit shortly. Our first take profit is in about 20 pips, right? So TP1 right here. So amazing for those of you that were able to position yourself. If not, it's okay, because you were able to learn how maybe you could position yourself next time, right? That's the whole point of these calls, is not necessarily so you can only take trades, but it's so that you can build your confidence up to know what to look for to take your own, right? So I like this move right now in terms of Goldie. 30 breaking down. Nas kind of stuck. Like I said, I'm in Nas shorts. I'm gonna be just holding into the ending of the hour to see how we close. Ideally, like I said, once we take this low, I'd be looking to kind of partial out, break even. 30 is taking these lows. So like I said, I know Warren, you were in 30, right? So you're living. 30 was clean. Like I said, I like the shorts, but I just, position-wise, I wasn't confident with this. I was more confident with Nas, just out of this area, just based on what I'm used to. Like I said, I'm just used to the lag. I'm used to it being kind of behind. So for me, 30, it just looked like we had more room to go up if we were going to, versus obviously Nas, right? But 5-minute wise, even down. Yeah, damn. It looks like we actually got a little break on the 5-minute beforehand. So I wasn't really paying attention to 5 minutes. So 5-minute wise, definitely could have positioned yourself out of this candle, on that 35 candle. So a little boo-boo, right? I didn't dig down to the 5-minute. Like I said, I was mainly just looking at the 15-minute and 30-minute. That's why it made sense to kind of short. But at the same time, I just wanted to see how this candle closed, because we were pushing up. So if we did engulf, then to me, like, we'd be flying. But because we did get that bearish close, you can see what the result was. So yeah, we chose horribly wrong. Right, not to say that Nas is going to be wrong, but I just don't like this, right? We shouldn't have engulfed. So for me personally, I'm going to close Nas, or at least I'm going to close a little bit of my position. I don't feel like taking full risk on this right now. Because obviously, like I said, 30's taking those lows. So if 30's taking liquidity right now, what could end up happening too is 30 just really was the one that obviously is more bearish. So 30 takes the low. Nas kind of runs down here. This is probably the lowest we get for Nas. Then I would just see us lagging around here and then taking the high. Right? So that's what I would see happening. If 30 just kind of just sucks up from this area and just like, because we're capturing all of this liquidity now. So once we capture it, it's like it's okay for us to just impulsively wick up and just go. Because at that point, all we did was just really hit the stop loss of anyone who bought early. And this is basically where the institutions are getting in for longs, if any. Right? I hope this shit just melts. But we will see 30 or gold open beautiful, right? No wick on this 5-minute candle to the upside. So it just looks like we're going to continue to kind of staircase ourselves up. Like I said, on gold, you can kind of pay yourself, because it looks like we're kind of in a little bit of a range, right? Not really, but kind of, yeah. We're just really been moving sideways. So if we fail to really close above all of this structure, all of these highs here, and we just wick into it, like I said, just partial out, move your stop loss to break even. And I would just set my next stop loss to like the 1970s. So that would be about like 90 pips minimum. Right, 30 looks like we're dropping. Nas looks like we're not. So, yeah, like I said, shit. today definitely was like, it was a very volatile day if you just were in early. Like, if you were playing the market in London session, I would say that, like, for sure, like, you would be mad because you probably got hit out on most things. Silver offing and gold out here messing around and fine. Bro, silver was the one that was sitting here and made me just, I was like, what is gold doing? Silver has just been like this super ahead of everything. Like, look at GBP too. GBP is normally the one that is good. So this shit is all the way down here, silver. So this is why I was very conflicted. But I like the longs too, just because of where gold filled. But GBP to me was just very. It's not that it was bearish, but it's like 4 hour looked like it broke, and it just 4 hour came all the way back down to this area right now. So GBP fucked around and found out for sure. I think that's why gold is fucking around and finding out. Silver right now, silver never gets love, so silver could just kind of do what it wants when it wants. Like, you know, it's like that little Uzi song. Now I do what I want. Silver, that's silver, right? Silver hasn't set an all-time high since we made the first all-time high. Gold just keeps going back and making new ones, so makes sense. Makes sense, but yeah, with the silver confluence, I would say the longs is really gonna be the move, because even on GBP 4 hour wise, it really looks like we're gonna dip out of here. So, oh man, this is what fucking dollar's looking like. Yeah, I just, like, you have to really just look at certain things. Like, if we just look at the dollar, like this 4 hour candle, like, for us to obviously sell off on gold, we would more than likely have to pop. And it's not to say that we can't, but just this 4 hour candle just looks like, oh my god, this hourly candle. So this is what we talked about it right at the beginning of the hourly too, right? If this hourly IPA, like, if we don't break above it, dollar's gonna melt. So if dollar melts now, typically, like I said, we're gonna see, that's why at 30 shorts, right? Obviously we got this big engulfing candle. So to me, even 30 re-entries we might get at the beginning of the next hour, truthfully, right? I like this close, as long as we could close below this on the 15. In my eyes, we should get this continuation. If we don't close, because we took liquidity, we might actually see 30 flip. And like I said, that would make sense with kind of what I said with Nas. With 30 taking that low, Nas only coming to about here, and then Nas kind of coming back into this same area and just lagging, and then boom, taking the high. So that's what it looks like we have the potential to do right now. Nas, boom, tap the body of this candle. So like I said, shorts, if you didn't close, or if you didn't take it, was good. But for me, like I said, I didn't like once we came back. And even with 30, like I said, we could potentially flip right now that we took this low. So we could even see 30 continue higher as well right now. We took enough lows in my eyes. Structure-wise on the 15-minute, right, we didn't close below this. So we could really see the indices continue higher. So like I said, 30 was just really the one that wanted to, I guess, fill whatever insufficiencies we had a little bit better before continuing higher. But Nas, like I said, this literally looks bullish as fuck. Like I said, look at this. We're about to literally engulf this 30-minute candle. So like I said, there's nothing that I would really be looking at on Nas. Like I said, the shorts was really all we had. And that was just off the divergence of 30. But obviously 30 coming into the area that we did get this reversal 5-minute close above. I think 30 flies now. So I personally would just kind of leave it alone unless it comes back down. Right? We're just kind of in the middle of a range right now. It's 11 o'clock. With how the candle opened, like I said, us coming straight down kind of makes sense. Right? Us coming straight down makes sense. So I would say if we come back into this box, you might be able to try your luck at longs with like a tight stop loss below the low. But to me, I personally, it looks like we're probably going to continue higher and go. 30, like I said, we could dump, but Nas to me is gone. So if you guys were to be looking for shorts, short Nas or short 30, and I would say don't even touch Nas right now, because to me, longs don't really make sense out of this area too. Like, I guess you could have kind of played buys out of this area if you were looking at us coming back into that 3-minute little area, little 5-minute area. I guess you could have for sure played buys. But outside of this area, there's nothing really on the long side that makes sense. So for me, 30, like I said, it looks like we're actually going to continue to go up on 30. So if we do, Like I said, obviously Nas is gonna fly with it as well. But to me, if one is going to short, it's going to be 30 for sure, right? Versus Nas. So in terms of that, right, with us coming to the end of the hour, you know, we'll definitely just wrap things up there, because like I said, there isn't really too much more that I was looking at. Goldie, we just really want to see us continue first TP really at this high. Once we take this liquidity, to me, I don't think we just wick into her. I think we should explode through it. So I would say just definitely be kind of patient when it comes down to this movement, right? You don't want to sit here and just rush entries and sit here and have just have unnecessary losses, right? For just chasing. So to me, I like 30 longs. So I might actually position myself on 30 longs. Just because, like I said, Nas looks like it's about to fly. I like that 30 took liquidity. So I'm going to take a small position here, actually, on 30. So nothing too crazy, right? But at the same time, like I said, I basically entered Nas and just closed right away. So broke even on that. Lost like 4 points in total, but ideally gold is making up for that. So I don't mind really taking a dab at this, just because of the 15-minute structure, right, as well. But like I said, nothing too crazy, because to me there's still a little bit of liquidity to the downside that we could take. And yeah, shit, Nas took this high. Surprise, surprise. Like I said, we also could just do the complete opposite, where we just take this high, right, run out all of this liquidity, and then just kind of just fall randomly, which is typically what Nas has been doing a lot. Like when Nas has kind of just fallen over and gotten any type of retracement to the downside in the last couple of weeks, like it's just been random. It's like once you make a higher high, you just have to expect it, right? That's really what it comes down to. 30, like I said, let's see if we could get this pop. To me, I'd be looking to kind of target this IPA up in here, be about 100 points, give or take. You know, if you're risking, to me, I was risking about like 10, I think 10 to 15. So it'd be maybe about a 1 to 7, 1 to 8. I want Nas to 16K, still holding my longs. Yeah, I want to see Nas push up higher too. Like, to me, it's Moon, right? I just want fills, man. It should be pissing me off when it don't fill. I just want to drop a fatty on there and be confident, you know? I don't want to sit there and just buy and pray that I don't get hit out. Right, but definitely longs for sure. Look like they're going to be the play. But fuck, we might fuck around and find out. This is Nas, right? We might fuck around and just boop, pop off this. And like I said, if 30 drops, then boom. But 30 looks good right now for the longs. So as long as 30 keeps going up, I just want to see Nas just explode past this high. Then to me, that would be that confluence. 30 going to do the same. But 15-minute structure on everything just looks pretty clean. Like I said, 30, if you guys entered, we really had no drawdown at this entry. So this is why waiting for the candle opens. First 2-3 minutes of these candle opens are going to be the most crucial, the most pivotal for just being able to position yourself in a way that's not going to have you risking just anything too crazy, right? It's just being able to negate any type of risk that you have, unnecessary risk. Like I said, shit, drop a 30 if you guys took 30. Because as of right now, what we want to see in terms of 15-minute, in order to just really, like if you wanted to hold this, I would want to see obviously us engulf on the 15-minute at least. 30-minute wise, to me, an engulfing candle would be nice too. To see us close above this candle would give me a lot more confluence. And then the hourly too, we just want to see it run, right? To me, the 4-hour came back to this last 4-hour down candle. Right, we have a couple wicks here. So overall, like I said, I do want to see just this liquidity get captured for US 30. So we're looking very, like, we're looking the same thing for Nas. So ideally, like I said, 30 longs. If you took it, you should be in a little bit of profits. Gold longs, we should be in there as well. How we doing right now? I just don't like the price action right now. Like, we got to run 30-minute wise. To me, if we don't take this high within this next 23 minutes, to me, I would just break even, move your stop loss to break even on gold, and just let it kind of play out. Because to me, like I said, we're kind of just ranging right now. The fact that we haven't gone, and like, for example, silver's gone, but then GBP is sitting here and looking like this. I just don't know if silver is coming to fill something higher, which we did have some IPA actually, I believe. I don't know if it was the daily or the 4 hour. Yeah, so the 4 hour, we're actually in this IPA right now. We just captured liquidity. So what I'm thinking, like I said, GBP is always the stronger one. So because it's bearish, right, I'm thinking that, like, obviously we had this little counter 4 hour, we had this little 4 hour break, but just right now, this really just looks like this is going to be a Pepe candle to the downside, if I'm just being honest, right? And if it doesn't, then shit, you know, I was horribly wrong. But to me, I could see silver flipping from here, and I could also see GBP continuing lower. If GBP continues lower, I could see gold most definitely is just going to follow suit. So if you did get in, you could potentially just move your stop loss to break even or just close. Like I said, we made a higher high on the 5 minute. You have to expect a retracement at least to down here now. Like, we don't even have to just come back to here. Like, we could come all the way back down here now. So that's one thing that you guys kind of got to pay attention to, because gold does fill very well. Like, gold will come all the way back down and fill, like, the last little bullshit that you didn't think that it was going to fill. Yeah, it came back and filled that. Right? So just sit there and be on your P's and Q's and just don't force re-entries per se. Right? Yeah. Closing in profit necessarily wouldn't be a bad thing. For me personally, I might actually close right now too. I don't like this price action. I just don't like price action on anything else. On GBP. And then also silver. Just based out of the higher time frame point of interest that we're in. So we'll really see how we kind of react out of this area. But overall, like I said, I would anticipate that gold probably breaks down and gets this reversal from here. So I don't know if we really continue too much higher. But if we do, that'd be amazing. Realistically, we might just come down and touch that hourly candle at 1958.50. But based off of where we're at right now, in terms of how much lower we should go, 1 minute is the only other thing I see an IPA on at about the same area that hourly candle is. So to me, we should really just be bouncing up from here if we're going to go at all. But if not, then like I said, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. NAS on the 5 minute, it looks like the 5 minute, we still didn't break above that last 5 minute up candle. So the indices are going to be interesting right now to see if, you know, we actually continue lower or if we actually continue to the upside when it comes down to 30. And to me, like I said, NAS, I expect to continue to the upside, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens on 30. Whether or not we continue lower. But in terms of that, family, right, if you guys got any type of value today on stream, make sure you guys drop a like, right? 30, coming back down to this IPA. You know, for me, that's why I kind of moved my stop loss to break even right away, because 15 minute, off that 15-minute wick, that's what you have to expect. You just have to expect either price is going to run or price is going to come back. So I got tapped on my first entries, but 1 minute I could see us still reacting out of this IPA here. So I might actually get back in. Stop would be about like 10 points. So if you took a loss, then I would say just cool it, maybe, just depending on what your plan is. But for me, I just been getting tapped break even, so I'm cool with just playing again, as long as just like price is valid. To me, maybe we see the 1 minute fill a little bit lower, maybe not, right? We'll see. But at the same time, in my eyes, like I said, we just want to see, there's certain things we want to see, and if we see it, that's good. If not, then like I said, that's how we're able to make our judgments just on our feet and just get in and out and just decide what we want to do. So if you got back in for re-entries or in instant profits, that's why you can't even think. You just got to sit here and you just got to look. You just got to press a button. Right, that's like for me, as soon as I seen this wick come down into here, I'm not even thinking. I'm just like, okay, 1 minute break of structure, cool. Right, I can't get mad because I entered late trying to just chase the rest of the move. You know, and I wouldn't even got hit if I had my stop below the overall low. But would you rather be break even or have a 20-point stop loss? To me, I'd rather be break even, especially when you know how to get into positions. So yeah, Nas wicked above that high. Sheesh, let's see what happens. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting. Cause 30, like I said, if it dumps, Nas not breaking above this 5-minute candle would be very interesting to me. Alright, very interesting. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today, family. Like I said, in terms of this, if you don't want to take position, because like I said, we could drop, right? We could drop. Overall, we're just playing this 15-minute structure, but 15-minute looks disgusting right now, if I'm being honest, right? On the flip side, right? The 15-minute candle is about to close in 2 minutes. So to me, it looks like based off the 30-minute we came up, we filled IPA, right? So it looks like indices shorts will probably win. So Nas probably will short off from here. But like I said, it's just shit. You could do what you want with that. But I would say just definitely whatever happens after this, if you're in, you know, if you get hit, stop loss, break even, whatever the case may be, I would just be on my hands after that. Because to me, like I said, we're just going to be breaking out of ranges. So at that point, it just doesn't really make sense to see any re-entries, like anywhere. Because realistically, we should just continue in whatever direction we're going. So we have gold longs still in profit. Nas, depending on if you took Nas, I know some of you freaks definitely shorted it. And I know some of you guys definitely shorted 30, and some of you are probably in 30 longs right now. So, you know, I'm in the long, right? Probably not for long. You guys get it? I'm in the long, not for long. But yeah, I'd say shorts probably work out. And if they do, then shit. You know, we just look for re-entries tomorrow. I'll be streaming live tomorrow again to make up for Wednesday's stream. But in terms of that, family, I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip. Peace.